Clean water and healthy soil is the foundation for all agriculture. We are fortunate in Nevada County to live in the upper watersheds where rainwater and snowpack provide a plentiful supply. As the snow melts, our rivers run high and some of the flow is captured in reservoirs for storage. The reservoirs also provide hydropower, recreation, wildlife habitat, and the aesthetic values we all treasure. In the days of the early miners, around the 1850s, ditches, canals, and wooden flumes were built to divert water for the gold mining process. In 1917, Munson Church, better known as Bert, and his wife Kate drove their cattle from parched dry rangelands in western Nevada County eastward and up to the Green Mountain meadows of the Sierra Nevada. On this cattle drive, they envisioned a water system where high mountain water could be carried to the fertile but dry farms and ranches of the Sierra foothills.
I'm Chris Bierwagen, a fourth-generation farmer here in Chicago Park. Our family has farmed here continuously since 1901. Currently, we raise apples and peaches and raspberries and pumpkins and have some pasture land and some woods land. One of the huge things that happened in Nevada County was the creation of the Water District. Prior to that time, the fruit was all grown dry land and the trees were small and the fruit was small, but it was very tasty because it was power packed. With the addition of water on the land at that time, my grandfather was able to increase his production by threefold on this farm, and literally cried the day that the water ran into the orchard because he knew that something great was going to happen.
Without water, it would be impossible for agriculture to thrive. NID continues with a mining tradition of measuring irrigation water for its customers by the miner's inch.
So a miner's inch is very simple. It's basically a 1-inch hole cut in a board that is put into a box that's cut into the berm, and we need to have at least 6 inches of head pressure. The water level has to be at least 6 inches above the orifice to give it the force to push it through there. It gives a constant delivery 24/7 of a source of water, and this equals about 11.22 gallons per minute, or about 16,000 gallons a day is what you'll get through 1 miner's inch. So very simple system of measuring water, and as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, why fix it? So this is how we still do it today.
Due to Nevada County's topography of rolling hills and mountains, we have different types of agriculture here than one might expect compared to California's farming in the soil-rich Central Valley. The top 5 agricultural commodities in Nevada County are timber, cows and calves, wine grapes, nursery stock, and fruits and vegetables. Managing our forests and harvesting timber is the #1 valued agriculture commodity in Nevada County. Each person in California uses the equivalent of a 100-foot tree each year. Wood is used in over 5,000 products that we use in our daily lives. California's forest management and timber harvest environmental regulations are the strictest in the world. As a result, only about 1/3 of the annual growth is harvested each year, and forest growth has exceeded harvest for over the past 25 years. Strict certification is required of a registered professional forester who manages California's forests. Foresters must use techniques that provide long-term wildlife habitat, protect water quality, and preserve our valuable soils. Before trees can be harvested, a forester must write a timber harvest plan and receive approval from multiple state agencies. An approval of a timber harvest plan may take years. Once the timber harvest plan is approved, the harvesting of trees begins. A machine called a feller buncher cuts the tree trunk and allows the tree to fall. Once the tree is on the ground, the feller buncher moves up and down the tree, removing the branches. Then, a log skidder takes the log to an area called the log landing. The logs are loaded onto trucks for transportation to the sawmill. Cows and calves are the second highest grossing agricultural commodity in Nevada County. It takes approximately 15 acres of oak woodland rangeland to provide enough feed for one cow and her calf for a year. As you can tell, ranchers need large parcels of land to stay in business, and with increased urbanization, this has become one of the biggest challenges facing livestock producers today. Those ranchers lucky enough to have irrigated pastures can feed more cows per acre on irrigated land than on dry rangeland. These large green belts of irrigated pastures and the ranch land itself also provide fuel breaks for nearby landowners and communities. Several of our Nevada County ranchers and their families have been in the ranching business dating back to the 1850s, providing food to the early miners and settlers.
I'm proud to be fourth generation of this ranch since 1854, and we're very proud to be part of Nevada County and California agriculture.
Some of our ranching families still continue with the old ranching tradition of having a cattle drive, bringing their cows back to the home ranch from summer range in the mountains. Many of our agricultural producing landowners have received the prestigious Conservationist of the Year Award by the Resource Conservation District for their good land stewardship. In order for a rancher to have year-round feed for the livestock, it is essential that he or she be able to produce a hay crop. This hay will provide feed for the cows in the fall when grass is at a minimum, awaiting the winter rains and new grass growth of spring. Calves are born in either the spring or the fall and usually stay with their moms for about 6 to 8 months. At that time, the female calves or heifers with the best conformation and attitude are selected as replacement heifers to join the herd of cows. The other calves are usually sold at an auction and the next cycle begins. Some ranchers market their beef as grass-fed, which means the animals are not finished or fattened on grains, but they are fed the grass that they are raised on. Wine grape production is the third highest grossing agricultural commodity in Nevada County. Wine grape production continues to increase with more vineyards being put into production. Once a new vine is planted, it takes about 3 years before they can start producing grapes. The annual process of growing grapes can be very labor-intensive. The vines are pruned in the winter while they are dormant. Wine grape production utilizes drip irrigation practices and minimal amounts of water. In the summer, the grapes grow under the sun's energy and continue to ripen. It is a team effort between the grape grower and the winemaker to decide when to harvest. The grapes are crushed, destemmed, and pressed into a liquid and then put into a fermentation vat. Eventually, the wines will be ready for the bottling process. Nursery stock is the fourth grossing agricultural product in Nevada County. Nursery stock consists of Christmas trees, young ornamental nursery plants and trees, and cut flowers. Most of the nursery stock is sold locally at the farmers markets and local outlets. To become a certified grower, an inspector from the Agriculture Department visits the grower's property to verify what products are being produced and also checks for weeds and pests. A grower then receives certification and can sell at the local markets. Growing fruits and vegetables is the fifth highest grossing agricultural commodity in Nevada County. Typically, the local fruits grown are apples, peaches, cherries, and berries.
One of the things that we're seeing happening recently now in our county and in agriculture in general is a resurgence of folks wanting to be reconnected to the land and knowing where their food comes from. With food safety issues going on and food being mass produced and shipped all over the world, there's a new emphasis to really know more about it than we have in the past. And so we're seeing a lot of that folks just enjoying coming out to the farm for that purpose, being connected with the land, knowing that it requires land, property, open space, and water to grow the food that we all enjoy and need.
Our local fruits, vegetables, and other products are marketed and sold through on-site farm stands, U-Pick farms, farmers markets where the growers are certified, and local stores that support local growers.